And now for more on this issue, we're now joined on the phone by former Chinese ambassador to India, Zhou Gang. Welcome, Mr. Zhou, to our program. First of all, what's your comment on the 15th round of the China and India dialogue on the border issues?
I should say that the 15th meeting of the special representatives between China and India on China-India border questions was held as a background of fast and steady development of bilateral relations between these two countries. And this round of talks was held in a friendly and kinder atmosphere, and is helpful to maintain peace and tranquility in the border areas between China and India. And two sides agreed to push forward the process of framework negotiation so as to seek a fair and reasonable settlement acceptable to both of us, in accordance with the guiding political principles reached by the two sides several years ago. The two sides exchanged views on the future framework agreement settlement and decided to establish a working mechanism on consultation and coordination on the border issue between the officials and diplomats at the Director General's level.
Talking about the working mechanism, Mr. Zhou, there have been confrontations now and then along the border between China and India in the past few years. How do you think that this working mechanism would help handle the situation?
So you see, if you look at this whole situation in the border areas, I think the peace and tranquility prevails. This is the main feature of the border situation. But sometimes some small problems crop up. So I think with the settlement of this working mechanism, it will be helpful to maintain peace and stability in border areas and strengthen cooperation and exchange between the two sides, so as to quickly resolve the disputes between the two sides. At the same time, I think it will help to create a favorable and friendly atmosphere of the general bilateral relations between China and India.
You've been talking about the speed of the solution. Do you actually see it head towards the final solution? Because it is the 15th round of the India-China dialogue on the border issue. The numbers suggest that China and India have been working on solving the border issues for quite a long time. So do you really see it heads towards a final solution now?
In my personal view, that the border talks have yielded already the positive results. But at the same time, I should say that a very difficult task still ahead of us. So I think both of us should create more favorable atmosphere to emancipate the mind and to seek a fair and reasonable solution acceptable to both of us in the spirit of mutual accommodation and mutual understanding and mutual readjustment in the border areas, especially in the eastern sector of the border. I think I'm quite optimistic about stability and peace in the border areas, also about the future development of the bilateral relations between China and India.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Zhou Gang, former Chinese ambassador to India.